Welcome everyone! Today I'll talk about Materialized Lake View constraints. I published a video before about Materialized Lake Views, but today we'll talk about the constraints supported by the Materialized Lake Views. They are very interesting. What are the constraints in the Materialized Lake View? The point is, the Materialized Lake View is transporting the data from one layer to another. For example, let's say that I have a silver layer and a gold layer. The silver layer has a table. I can use a Materialized Lake View in the gold layer to bring the content from the silver layer to the gold layer, transforming the content. And I can also make data quality checks using the Materialized Lake Views. In this case, using data quality checks, the Materialized Lake Views will leave records behind. Records that don't fit the data quality for the gold layer will be left behind. This is the syntax of the constraint in the Materialized Lake View. So, constraint, value status, for example, check status equal open. On mismatch, drop. This means that if the status is not open, the record will not be part of the Materialized Lake View. The record will be left behind, will not be brought to the new Medallion layer. The Materialized Lake View has also an option to fail the build of the view in case of a mismatch. In case an invalid record appears, it will fail the build of the view. That's a possibility, but the drop is way more interesting. I will show you why. And one pending question is why we would prefer this code using a constraint in a Materialized Lake View instead of this code, a simple where clause in the query of the Materialized View. Why? Why the constraint is better? There is a reason. The reason is that using the constraint, we can create a data quality report based on the Materialized View. All the records that are left behind by the Materialized Lake View will appear here in the data quality report. For example, I have here a report about which constraint left the record behind and how many records were rejected by each constraint. In this way, we have a data quality report from the Materialized Lake View, and this is very interesting because we would not have this kind of information automatically from other kinds of pipeline, but the Materialized Lake View gives this to us. Let's see a demonstration about how to build the constraints in the Materialized Lake View. Here you can notice the code to create our Materialized Lake View. Our view will be called Boston Neighborhood 2023, and I have two constraints. One constraint is about the status, is checking the status open. The other constraint is about the address. I make a bit more complex check in relation to the address to be able to extract some pieces of the address. And in the where clause, I'm filtering for the year 2023. Why? Why I haven't put this in the constraint? Because the constraint requires to be schema bound. This expression is using a function to filter. I can't use a function to filter in a Materialized Lake View. It needs to be schema bound. This view is already created. I can get back to my lakehouse, DBO, refresh. One of this table is the Materialized Lake View. Oh, but it's a view, but it appears as a table. It's because it's materialized. In this case, the lakehouse see it as a table, but the symbol is slightly different. We see it as a table with a small difference in the symbol. And we have a new table called sysdq metrics. This table is the one that holds the data quality metrics information for the Materialized Lake View for every execution of the Materialized Lake View. And we can use this table to check these metrics, to check the data quality of the Materialized Lake View. Let's see how to do it. First, we need to go to the Manage Materialized Lake Views. That's it. I'm seeing my materialized lake view and I see the lineage that my view is based on the table Boston. Let's click on the button Data Quality Report. The report was not generated yet. The data is stored. You saw the table, the data is there, but the report was not generated. Let's generate it. And here is the data quality report. Mind how I can see information about my view and the number of records rejected by each constraint. I can see the totals of records rejected by each view. This report is based on multiple materialized lake views, and I can dig into details. I can dig into details, filtering by schema. I only have the schema DBO, filtering by view name, and it shows each one of the refreshes of the view. In my case, the view was just created, so it's showing only one, but it will show each refresh of the view and the number of records rejected, and even the number of records rejected by each constraint. I can control the period that I'm seeing in select relative day. In this way, the Materialized Lake View not only is a low-code solution, which helps us to build our Medallion architecture with minimal code, but also gives us features like data quality reports that we would not have it easily if we were building a regular pipeline. This report, by the way, is created inside the Workspace. I can make a refresh here, and here it is. The report of the data quality of the Materialized Lake Views in my lakehouse. Thank you very much for watching and see you next week.